Hey guys, welcome to today's video. So today we're going to be running through the 7.2.1 path. Sort of as I said in yesterday's video, just before the event comes out, we just want to run through this, get a new one out, and then you'll see some event videos tomorrow, or maybe even tonight as well if I can get two out. So yeah, let's run through this. So the first fight is Black Bolt. This is the path that you want to take. It's Black Bolt, then Professor X. That's the easiest one to go with. What nodes do they have? It's got Energy Adoption Ice and Energy Adoption Fire. So it's easy to describe these as both. So the defender has 50% chance to inflict the attack with a Cold Snap each time the defender is struck or the attacker blocks an attack. These effects will not trigger while the defender is suffering from an armor break debuff. The defender also takes 100% reduced damage from Cold Snap effects and gains a regeneration boost. So as you can see, if you look at the screen now, in the top left, you see that Kitty Pryde has that ice symbol. That means that she has Energy Adoption Ice on, basically meaning that she is immune to all Cold Snap effects, and because she's already Incinerate immune, she is basically, you are either have to, it's hard to explain, but I'll do my best. So basically, it's either Cold Snap or Incinerate. The best way to go is to go with champs who are both. Colossus is both Incinerate and Cold Snap Silver Surfer. Human Torch, Annihilus. Ghost works by, by dashing back and turning them into Furies. Or you can go this way I did, as I sort of had a few limited champs. I went with either an Incinerate immune champ for a path, or for some fights, and a Cold Snap immune. So for example, I used Warlock against this Professor X and made sure that I had the fire symbol, which meant that I wasn't going to take any Incinerates, and then obviously I wasn't going to take any Cold Snaps because he's Cold Snap immune. And then with Kitty Pryde, she was really the MVP because, as you saw in the last fight, when Kitty gets Incinerates on her, but she's immune to, she builds up her temperature naturally, so that when you throw an SP2, the SP2 is really, really big. It grants, does a massive amount of attack and could take the defender down much quicker. So I actually had a lot of fun with this. Any other Kitty players will also have a lot of fun with this. Or you can go at one other way, but this way is really tricky, and that is a armor break immune champ. So somebody like Thor, you keep the ice symbol on you, or you keep the fire symbol on you, but make sure that they're always suffering from an armor break, and then you don't get your Cold Snap on you. And then, so really, it's just about rotating between one or the other, dependent on who you've got. Obviously, a Colossus would be perfect for this. He can almost take out every single fight. But for me, I didn't really have that luxury, and instead had to go with champs who were one or the other. So as you can see, I went with both the Kitty Prydes that I have, and then Purgatory helped in the Miss Marvel fight. You'll see that later on. She absolutely shreds her, and then Warlock for the Cold Snap. How do you change between the two? So to get you start each fight with a Cold Snap on you, the ice symbol, to then, however, as you can see here, I had the ice symbol. However, by charging a heavy attack or throwing a heavy attack, you change it to the fire one, so Incinerates, and then you become immune. And then to get back to ice, you have to, it's by knocking a defender down by special attack. So for example, you'll see in a second, I believe I used my SP2 with Warlock, and that turns this attack into Cold Snap, and then you quickly have to charge or throw a heavy attack to change it back to Incinerate, so that you're not getting those Incinerates on you. This is really the easiest way to go. They're the nodes on there. They've also got stun vulnerability, so when the defender is stunned, they take 200% more attack. So obviously throwing an SB2 while parried with Kitty did more attack than it would do, especially with max prowess bonus. And then, as I said, you've also got that juggling act where you start the fight with an indefinite Cold Snap to then change to a Incinerate immunity. You have to charge a heavy attack, and then if you want to go back to the Cold Snap immunity, you have to then throw a heavy attack again. So occasionally, the best way I sort of played Warlock was try and do throw a heavy attack straight away, parry heavy right from the off, and then just parry heavy. And then if you do throw your special attack, or you do want to, then just parry heavy again, or just fight normally. And then with Kitty, just don't throw any heavy attacks. So if you've got only an Incinerate immune champ, don't throw any heavy attacks, and it will never change, because you can still throw your special attacks, just no heavy. So either bring in somebody who has big specials, or you don't need to use their heavy attacks, for example, like Kitty Pryde, if they're Incinerate immune, because then that's the easiest way to go. You just start the fight, you don't throw any heavy attacks, it never changes. Your special attacks are always putting, like, when they're knocked down, you're keeping that cold snap immunity on you, and then that's the easiest way to go. So another little quick tip for this is, if you put an Incinerate onto the opponent and you've got the Incinerate immunity, then or the cold snap immunity, they get regen 1% of their health each time. So as you can see here, I threw my SP3 with the Incinerate on. That puts that passive Incinerate on him, and then he is regenning 1% in each each second. I would recommend bringing somebody for Strife. He is a bit of an annoying fight, because obviously you've got that occasional miss, and if you're not too sure how to play him. So in the end, I just ended up bringing not really bringing anyone for him, but the two kitties. Obviously this second rank 6 kitty, because of the Act 7 global nodes, where they have a permanent fury, and then this or of 700 plus attack, and then they also do way more damage. It's just easier to bring 6 stars in, so she absolutely shreds. Other fights you've got on here is Strife. He's an annoying one. Scarlet Witch obviously gets that poison immunity, but if you bring a Warlock or somebody who's poison immune, that's not... they put a poison debuff on you, but if you bring somebody who's poison immune, that's not so much of an issue. And then, as I said, Professor X is quite annoying. Captain Marvel movie, just make sure she doesn't throw that SP2 while in binary, otherwise it stuns you and takes you out. Just be careful of that. Keep the SP1s. Juggernaut, really easy to fight, especially after his buff, even easier. And then you get onto the Modok boss, who has a few nodes. What I'll do is I'll leave you with these two fights. You can see how I fought these, and then I'll jump back in into the character select bit, and then talk you through the Modok boss. So as you see, that Juggernaut's fight's all done. done relatively well. I did get hit by the Captain Marvel movies damage, but never mind. The Modok boss. So this, in my opinion, is one of the most annoying bosses actually that I've played, because one, I hate fighting Modok already. His SP1, he just throws at random times that it's quite difficult to it's not difficult to dex as long as you dex back it doesn't hit you. However, it's just really, really annoying. And then not only that, but he has some really, really annoying nodes. So the nodes that are actually on Modok is that every time you block an attack, you get a chance of getting a disorient, and then that disorient reduces your block your block proficiency by quite a large amount. Then, apologies, blocking an attack, I've just double checked, has a 100% chance to apply a disorient debuff, reducing your block proficiency by 25% for 12 seconds. But if you well timed the block, then it's only a 50% chance of getting a disorient on you. These build up basically with every block, so either you've got to be an absolute intercept king, which is really hard with Modok, I think, because he plays really aggressively, as in he's always coming in, he's always dashing in, he doesn't sit there to block for very long. You can get rid of these disorients by dashing back and holding block. As you can see, I attempted to do there, but for some reason it didn't load. You see that little timer coming on. He's also got Stampede, so whenever he blocks an attack, so if you hit into his block, you gain an overrun charge, and then each overrun charge increases your attack or it increases their attack and combat rate by 10%. And if you ever interrupt his heavy attack, all those overrun charges are removed, and you gain an unblockable passive. But, the key to this fight really is people who can sort of avoid his auto blocks. So I obviously bought him Falcon and Null. Both, obviously, Null has the sort of True Strike on his symbiote attacks, his mediums. And then Falcon obviously has his recon. Good other people, other champs would be Mole Man, Killmonger if you can intercept his special attacks, Corvus Glaive with the Proxima Midnight synergy, Nick Fury, Black Cat if you can keep that sabotage up. Any champ who really counters auto block does work for him, but you want one who's a constant, so you're not hitting into his block, because that auto block can be really annoying. But like I said, the main issue here is the fact that if he hits you while you've got one disorient on, like you can see here how much damage it does. Like to my 3-star Null, like one does quite a lot of damage if you get hit by it, which I did. Hands up. I always put my hands up and say when I don't play well, and I really didn't play well. I've not been feeling great recently, but it's no excuse. Just wasn't playing very well on the day, and yeah, really sort of messed it up. However, it is a really annoying boss, unless he doesn't give you time to dash back and get those disorients off because of his the aggressive node on him, meaning that he is really aggressive. He excels in heavy and dash attacks, so that's really annoying. And then you've also got his auto block, and then if you push him to his SP2, that can wreck you if you're not really perfect with how to dex that. So yeah, overall this boss is really, really annoying. I really hated it. Let me know how you get on with it in the comments below. As I said, Incinerate and Cold Snap immune champs, or both, dual immune to both Incinerate and Cold Snap. And if you don't have one of those, you will definitely struggle with this unless you can get you can get really good with the nodes on heavy attacks and special attacks. Then obviously you can sort of shrug the immunities between one and the other. But as I said, Incinerate immune, Cold Snap immune champs for the path, and then with the boss you want champs who can turn off his auto block or who are able to bypass it, like Recon on Falcon or the True Strike medium attacks on Null, or loads of other champs who work as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below if you have, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.